Hi all, I'd like to draw your attention to something which happened last night. Lichess had a titled bullet tournament. I was hoping to be in the top 100. I managed to get into the top like 160-ish for about 700 plus players, so I was quite pleased. One of the players who came second to Magnus Carlsen, so Magnus Carlsen won the event, but the player that came second, I really want to give a special mention to today, Opawazan. He's one of the reasons I stopped playing Hyperbullet for a while, which is 30-second chess. I just thought he's devastating. He's an absolutely devastating international master. It turns out there's some discussions on him about Reddit that he's like one of the most talented players in the Netherlands they ever had. He stopped at IM, and maybe because of nerves didn't become GM. But I just found his speed of calculation absolutely awesome. And he has a deadly mixture as well. He plays some very, very unusual stuff at very fast time controls. And in fact, here in this example game I'm showing you, he's played this against me with huge success and loads of other players. This very weird and wacky opening sequence. We have an international master playing white who's got a bullet rating of over 2500, who plays b3. So he's trying to play exotically as well. The Nimzo last on attack. It's an opening that I like in bullet. Opawazan plays a5, and the usual idea when I play a5 is to play e6 and then a4, a3 is pretty annoying, and then quite often d5, f5, and even if they get the pawn on a3, by that time you've set up a kind of Dutch stone wall, which I've had some good results with. But here, white is playing a really crazy bishop a3 move. But Opawazan is not to be outdone in terms of craziness and outrageousness. He plays rook a6. And you might think, these two are beginners, are they? No, they're both really, really strong IMs. Especially at fast time controls. They're super strong. Opawazan is technically the higher rated though, and he's like been a champion of these like regular hyper bullets for years on Lichess. His talent really shines through. I would say, you could say in the same way that Magnus Carlsen has shown great dominance on bullet chess, Opawazan has shown great dominance on hyper bullet, and now he's taken centre stage in the prizes last night to come second in the Titled Arena. So this is a very interesting move, rook a6. This is like a hyper bullet opening that he's used with great success against bunnies like me. It's quite vicious. It reminds me a little bit of an idea in the Budapest gambit, where you keep the third rank clear, so later you play a5 and a rook left, and it can be quite dangerous. Sometimes you get that in the Budapest. So here we have e3. Okay, it seems logical, but rook g6. f4, and already this is actually a slight technical inaccuracy. It turns out, believe it or not, it seems as though black shouldn't have a decent position, but e5, it challenges the bishop on a3. It's a very amusing situation indeed that here on the chessboard. We have knight f3 being played. Already, if f takes e5, d6, and white could easily get into trouble. For example, here there's queen h4 check, and rook takes g3, and it's already, forget taking the rook, there's bishop g4 winning the queen. It's pretty crushing stuff. And if f5 there, then queen h4 check, and taking on h1 actually, yeah, because that's good as well for black. This is going to be a great position for black. So anyway, knight f3 was played, and we have e4. Already, black's kind of winning off to knight f3. Not only e4 is winning, but actually bishop takes a3 is pretty crushing, because after knight takes, e takes. This loose piece liability here, after e takes, is exploited with queen e7 check. And the problem is here that queen e2 is insufficient because of rook e6. Yeah, this rook on the third rank is pretty lethal stuff. This is a lethal tactician in its own right, this single rook. And so in f95 we just take on a3. So black, though, also, this is also a really strong move, e4. And we have bishop takes f8, and now e takes f3. And yeah, this is really strong. Bishop takes g7. White's just busted after queen h4 check. g3. Rook takes g3. The game ended here. And you might think this would never happen to you with someone playing a5 and rook a6. Well, if you think it's that easy, you know, try the hyper bullets with Opperwasn in them, and he might play this against you, and you'll find out. I just think this is very difficult to face, a very unusual opening pattern at fast time controls. It's difficult for a lot of players to handle. And here we've got, you know, a strong IM just crumbling very, very quickly. But he was playing in an extremely odd way with this bishop a3. That's like from an episode of House. I don't know if you've House MD. There was a chess game in one of the episodes with bishop a3. But yeah, they're both playing a bit odd. But Opperwasen's, you know, he's a specialist in this a5. And I also like to point out, I'm very proud that he plays for the Kingscrusher team in some of the team events. So Opperwasen, you're a remarkable player. If you see this video, I'm in awe of your achievement. I think, you know, maybe you need to write a book about this a5 and rook a6. You know, it's very, very interesting stuff for these fast time controls. So congratulations to Opperwasen as well for coming second. And he did actually beat Magnus Carlsen in one of the games. So that was great as well. He got to play Magnus Carlsen once or twice. He did actually take Carlsen out in one of the games as well. Yeah, so what can you say about this sort of game? Anyway, comments, questions, likes, shares, subscribes with the notification bell. Really appreciate it. Thanks very much.